Welcome to El Profe's Classroom. Class is in session. And today we're going to be talking about something that I think it's very special. We're going to be discussing a book, actually, a book series that I've been reading recently. It's got me hooked like I don't think a book series has hooked me for a while. So, we're going to be talking about Dungeon Crawler Carl, the series by Matt Dinniman. And for this episode, we're going to be talking about book one, which was released in 2020, basically during the pandemic. Um, and this is one of those books that has been basically taking the reading world by storm. Everybody is talking about this book and or this series. It's already It has seven books out. I think the eighth book is coming out this year, and I think it's been designed to be a 10 book series. So what the hell is Dungeon Crawler Carl? Well, if you wanna hear the premise, it's very simple. If you take a dose of Hunger Games and tie it to, I guess, like a funny invasion movie, Mars Attacks, maybe. That sounds a little bit closer to what this book is. A mixture between the comedy of a movie like of an alien invasion movie like Mars Attacks and um uh basically a battle royale Hunger Games story where the characters are in this world where they have to survive, basically. Uh, so, what is this first book about? Well, as the title of the book says, Dungeon Crawler Carl, there's been an invasion. Basically, aliens have decided that the Earth was ready to be mined for its resources. And what they do is that basically every time this goes on, I don't. Every time this goes on, there's a show that they put on called Dungeon Crawler World, and what they do with this show is that they get all the people from the world that they are destroying that survive and get into the tunnels. I'm not gonna go too much into the details, but uh, they have to basically against their will work to survive in this. It's like an MMORPG. If you've never heard of an MMORPG, it's a massively multiplayer online role-playing game where thousands of people role play in this world at the same time. It's not like a game where you're a single player game where the world has been created for you to play with. This is a world that's been created for many people to play with. And this is what happens in this book. So before I get into the details, the author, Matt Dinniman, I think it's a great story. Uh, he was basically what he used to do before he became big with this book series is he used to travel around with to cat shows, and he would illustrate the owner's cats, and basically that's how he made his living. But then suddenly COVID, he during the times where he went to the shows, he would write a little bit about this story. Um, and when COVID hit during the 2020 pandemic, basically he couldn't go to cat shows anymore. So he decided to just go all in on writing this novel. And I think it's hilarious because it has that feeling of this guy has definitely been to a cat show. But I think it's a great story. He also was a RuneScape player. RuneScape is a very famous classic MMORPG, and I think he has been very clever in the way that he has made this thing bigger than it probably would have been at some other time. Uh, he uses Patreon to, you know, have perks where the people who participate in the Patreon can mm, pick between choices of very small stuff during the series. But what it does is it connects you to a crowd, it connects you to your audience, and it keeps them coming for more because they feel like they're a part of it. So I think Matt Dinniman has done a great job, but without that ruining, you know, the story and the characters. So our main character is Carl. Basically, he was an ex Coast Guard who was struggling with he was cat sitting his ex girlfriend's cat, um, which was a show cat, obviously, a very prestigious, very um, award winning cat, Princess Donut, which is our second main character, and they get into this crawler world, and they have to survive basically as if you're in a video game. And I first of all, I was predisposed to like this because it's a premise that I'm into. Um, I remember really liking Sword Art Online, even though it's not, it's kind of wonky in its storytelling. The idea of people living in a video game and having to, or not living in a video game, living as if it was a video game, it sounds fun to me. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in Dungeon Crawler World, but maybe I would. I don't know. I don't know. It sounds fun. I also remember solo leveling also has some of these. So it's one of those things where the the world is interesting. The world building is interesting, and it gives you the ability or the space to be very creative with whatever you want. And there's something else that makes it very interesting, that since they take, I mean, it takes years to prepare this dungeon crawler thing, so they send people to learn a lot about this the earth culture. um there's a lot of stuff that they mix in the game with pop culture things. So finding those little details is always fun. um yeah, I just think this is, it's a great series. It's fairly easy to read. If you have an idea of what an MMORPG is, then I think it's quite easy to get into it. But what I think is the most the thing that drives this is the relationship between Carl and Princess Donut, the cat, the sentient cat, because now Princess Donut can talk. So um, the way the way they relate to each other and the way they get closer together is, I think, what drives this story. Obviously, it's a story of survival. It's violent. There's some crazy stuff here, but it has a heart, and I think that's what makes it so much fun and what makes it so accessible. It makes you want to keep on reading to see what happens in the end with Princess Donut and with Carl. And there's a lot of political intrigue that goes on behind the scenes that I'm not gonna get into in this one, but in the second book, it's more fairly, it's more obvious. So I really love this book. I think it's 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 definitely worth a read. I would give this book easily a 5 out of 5 because I had so much fun, and I think everybody should read it. I would recommend this to everybody, even the snooty people who love just Booker Prize books or Nobel Prize authors. I don't know. It's just fun, and sometimes you need a little fun in your life. So those are my thoughts on Dungeon Crawler Carl. Expect more review or thoughts on the rest of this series because I think I'm gonna read them all. I'm already finishing the second one, and I'm gonna start the third one, but I'm probably gonna do it in audiobook to see how that experience is compared to reading it. So we'll see what how it goes. Yeah. Um, Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and class dismissed.